Hey guys, so today I'm going to do a product review video on the Makeup Geek eyeshadows. I did a haul a few days ago, but I really couldn't give you much input because I hadn't used them all yet. I had only used one. So now I've used all three eyeshadows that I bought originally, and when I bought them I deliberately picked out 3 different finishes so that I could try 3 different kinds to see how I felt about each finish, because sometimes with companies like MAC, for example, there can be quite a variation between finishes. Some are better than others, and so I wanted to really get a feel for the product overall. So let me give you a little bit of information. I bought 3 different finishes. I got one matte, one metallic, and one of the foiled finish. And the regular ones, the matte and the metallic, were $5.99 a piece, and then the foiled one was $9.99. I guess it costs a little bit more to make those, so she has to charge a little bit more. And here is what I think about each one. The first one that I bought, or the first one that I used, was the foiled one, because I was the most curious about that because it was the newest thing that she had released. So that's what I got, which was Mesmerized, and it's sort of a purpley taupe color, and this I feel like is a great everyday color. It's not too intense. It's going to look good on pretty much everybody, I would think. It's just one of those really pretty purpley taupes that everybody can wear. And the thing with the foiled finish is it's very intense. You can use this wet if you want to. You can use just water, or you can use something like MAC Fix Plus, and it's going to intensify it. But I feel like it's so pigmented already that you really don't need to do that. I mean, that's just swatched dry, so that's really, really intense. And so overall, I was very happy with that. I can see that being like a go-to color for a lot of people for a lot of different situations, because once you have that on and you blend it out a little bit, it's not something that would be crazy or overpowering or look like too much. So big thumbs up on the foiled one. Then the next one that I tried is Burlesque, and this is a metallic finish. And this one is, I would say it's a burgundy color, which I was a little bit afraid of because I have a lot of red in my skin, and so sometimes, you know, something in the red category can bring that out. But I've been using my L'Oreal Magic anti-redness primer lately to completely get rid of the red that I have naturally in my skin. So I feel like because I've been doing that, it just opens up a lot more options for what I can wear comfortably without it looking crazy on me. But anyways, so this is Burlesque, and it's a burgundy, and it's very intense. Now, what I can tell you about this is I feel like this metallic eyeshadow is so close to the foiled finish in terms of intensity and the way it looks and the texture of it. In my opinion, I would say, unless there is a color in the foiled line that you're really wild about and crazy about and have to have, I feel like this metallic finish eyeshadow is every bit as good as the foiled one is. And I would say, you know, save yourself a few dollars, because it's $5.99 for this, it's $9.99 for that. Now I know that those aren't the same shades, but I'm just saying this formula is so close to the foiled that you really don't need to spend the extra money to get the foiled ones. That's just my opinion, but yeah, I think that it's every bit as good. Out of the 3, this ended up being my favorite, just because I was so surprised at how great the formula was, and I was surprised at how much I liked that color on me, because I didn't really think I was going to, but that's the look that I had on in my Maybelline Mascara video that I just did yesterday, and I ended up really, really loving it. And I did have something over it. I had a ColourPop shadow over it on the lid, but I had this just all over on the lid in the crease, and then I just put a little bit of ColourPop I Heart This. I just patted that a little bit on top, but that was predominantly the look that I had on. So really, really impressed with that. I will definitely be doing that look again. Just really love that eyeshadow. Definitely my favorite out of the three. And I expected my favorite to be Mesmerized, and it ended up being Burlesque. So if you've ever been afraid to try a burgundy eyeshadow, Burlesque is a really good one. And then today I tried Creme Brulee, which is this right here. And this was supposed to be a dupe for MAC Tint, which was a limited edition shade that was released many years ago. Actually, it wasn't limited edition for a long time. I think it was in the permanent line, and then they discontinued it. Or was it limited edition? I don't know. We're going back so many years now, I don't really remember. But anyways, I thought this was going to be a really great crease color, but I think for me it's a little dark, just a little dark. And I looked to see what I had in my collection that was similar, and the most similar thing that I have is, sorry, I had a hair that was tickling my arm. I had Texture is what I pulled out. So in case you were curious to see how those compared, that is Texture. And this is a matte finish. It went on fine. It's very pigmented. I had to blend the heck out of it to make it look halfway decent, because I feel like it's almost too pigmented, which is unusual for a matte. Usually mattes aren't pigmented enough, but this was plenty pigmented. And let me swatch these two side by side just in case you have Texture, then you can see how similar it is or not similar. Alright, so that's the Creme Brulee swatched by Makeup Geek. And then I'm going to put Texture right next to it. So that's Texture. Now, I gotta tell you, is Texture a matte? No, I don't think it is. I think Texture is, off the top of my head, I can't remember. I'm gonna look that up though, and I'm gonna put an annotation or put something in the description box or something. I think Texture might be a satin. But if it was a choice between the two, and I didn't already have Texture, I would just get the Makeup Geek Creme Brulee, because I think it's a better shadow. Which I can't believe I'm saying that, but it is. So it's less expensive than the MAC one, and they're similar colors, but they're not exact. I feel like the MAC one is a little browner, and the Creme Brulee is a little more peachy. But you really don't need both, I guess is what I'm saying. Now, in terms of Burlesque, Makeup Geek Burlesque, I also wanted to mention that, as a matter of fact, let me erase these swatches, because I wanted to mention this when I was talking about it before and I forgot. Let me get rid of Texture and Creme Brulee and Mesmerized. Okay, and I'm gonna leave Burlesque up there because I also wanted to compare that to some MAC shadows that you may or may not have, just to show you the difference in color. Now, when I saw Burlesque, I was thinking, geez, I wonder how close that is to Sketch. Sketch is more purple. that sketch right there. And let me swatch that right next to Burlesque so you can see. God, that swatch is awful. No wonder I don't use that shadow very much. So anyway, Sketch is purple, much more purple, and the Makeup Geek Burlesque is more burgundy. Now what about Cranberry? How does it compare to Cranberry? There's Matte Cranberry, because that's a burgundy. Nope, Matte Cranberry is much more red, and Burlesque is more of that burgundy color, so sort of a cross between red and purple. And I thought, okay, well, what about limited edition shades? This is Vainglorious. This came out in the Venomous Villains collection. How does that compare? No way. That's Vainglorious swatched right next to the Burlesque. So it's not the same color at all, not as pigmented or anything, but if you just look at them side by side, they look like they would be really, really close, and they're nothing alike. So I guess what I'm trying to say is between Vainglorious, Cranberry, and Sketch, I would trade them all in a heartbeat for just that one Burlesque. That is an awesome shadow, and I highly recommend it. All three of these Makeup Geek shadows are great. Sometimes when you watch YouTube videos and you see a lot of people talking about something, especially if they got it for free, you think to yourself, well, are they saying that because they got it for free, or are they a friend of Marlena's and they just want her to be successful? Is that why they're saying this? No. Honestly, I paid for these shadows myself. I don't know Marlena. She doesn't know who I am. These are fantastic shadows, you guys. $5.99 for the regular ones, $9.99 for the foiled one. But like I said, I don't really feel like you need to spend the extra money for the foiled one, because the metallic ones are so good and the effect is basically the same. They might be, the foiled ones might be a little more intense, and you can use them wet, so if you're really, really into intensity, but I mean, I just don't think you really need to. Now what about bases? Because how an eyeshadow performs has a lot to do with what you put underneath it. So I want to let you know what I used for a base under these shadows when I use them on my eyes. I used MAC Painterly Paint Pot. This is pretty much what I use for my eyeshadow base on a daily basis. Sometimes I do switch it up and I use other things, but most of the time I use MAC Painterly Paint Pot. So that's what I used under the eyeshadows, and seriously, these eyeshadows are so good, they almost don't even need a primer, because look at how that swatched the Burlesque one just on my hand. And I don't have anything on my hand. So yeah, that is my review of the Makeup Geek eyeshadows, and I am so impressed, so blown away, you guys. I really think that these are, do I dare say it? I think they're better than MAC. I'm totally shocked. I wish that she had come out with her eyeshadows a long time ago, because I could have saved myself a ton of money, but yeah, they're really good, and she has a huge assortment of colors, so many to pick from. It's an extensive range, and I didn't have any problems with the shipping or the ordering or anything. The only thing that I was a little nervous about is I didn't get any kind of a email saying your order has shipped. So that was the only thing that I kind of wish they had done, but I think that that might have been a mistake. I think they may have, maybe they did send me an email, but maybe they just typed in my email address wrong. I don't know, but it came in less than a week, and it came in less than a week a couple weeks before Christmas. So that's pretty amazing. That tells me that they really hustled to get that together, because let's face it, there's so many packages out there right now in transit that to get it together that quickly and ship it and have it arrive at my house in less than a week from the time I ordered it, that was impressive as well. So that is my product review video of Makeup Geek. If you've been sort of on the fence about ordering from that company, I think these eyeshadows are amazing, especially for the price. And that's it. That's it for today, you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.